Wanaka area is one of the most beautiful and varied parts of New Zealand. Local Department of Conservation rangers and dozens of community members work hard to ensure that you and your family can enjoy all the benefits of our amazing natural spaces. If you're interested in the area's plants and wildlife, then why not go on a wildlife tour with some of Wanaka's expert nature guides? One such enthusiastic company is Wanaka Eco Adventures. Tour guide Chris Riley takes small groups of visitors to scenic Mou Waho Island on Lake Wanaka.
Chris Riley is one of our concessionaires. Concessionaires are commercial operators on conservation lands. They require a permit from the Department of Conservation. With that permit there come special conditions and responsibilities for operating on the public conservation lands.
The highlight of Chris's tour is the resident population of buff weka. Mou Waho Island protects one of the few mainland populations of these inquisitive birds. The Department of Conservation relocated the weka from a nearby island in 2004 and rely on conservationists like Chris to assist in monitoring the island's population. On the tour you can also see a variety of other critters, like geckos and weta.
I've learned that wetas are highly territorial. They are chase of other encroaching families and encroaching males particularly, so yes, that was interesting.
I love bush, but to hear how everything relates and fits together has been wonderful.
Visitors also help plant a tree to make sure that this special place can be enjoyed by future generations.
That is a win-win situation for the Department of Conservation, for us as a company, because we give people the opportunity to plant a tree who maybe never ever planted a tree before in their lives. They're giving back to New Zealand's environment. We leave the island in better condition with every trip, and the Department of Conservation knows that it's being looked after and it being restocked with the original forest.
Wanaka's jewel is Mount Aspiring National Park, which protects over 350,000 hectares of alpine areas and native forest. Not only does the national park provide endless opportunities for recreational activities such as hiking, climbing and hunting, it protects some of our endangered species. One of these is the South Island robin, which was reintroduced into the West Matukituki Valley by the Department of Conservation in 2007.
We translocated 22 birds, so 11 breeding pairs. And since then they've been doing really good, so every summer they've been breeding and producing chicks and fledglings. Well, I use the speakers to try to call them. If the birds are banded, it means that they're coming from the Glenorchy area where we took them from originally.
To ensure the South Island robin's success, dock rangers monitor traps designed to catch introduced stoats and rats, the robin's main predators. Not far from where the robins live is Aspiring Hut. This historic New Zealand Alpine Club hut has been a popular refuge for hikers for over 60 years. One man who knows the area better than most is volunteer hut warden Graham HARFORD. For 2 weeks a year, he volunteers his time to make sure that visitors to the hut are well looked after.
I've been a voluntary warden for a conservation department in Wanaka for the past 17 years. Yes, very rewarding, and to my mind it's a privilege, not more than so than a job, to assist DOC in this capacity.
As a volunteer hut warden, Graham takes part in a nightly radio sked, which allows him to get the latest weather forecast. Other duties include collecting hut fees and ensuring all facilities are clean and working properly, so you can sit back and enjoy the views. If mountain biking is more your thing, then Wanaka is the right place for you. The Wanaka area has over 300 kilometres of tracks, including this one at Dean's Bank.
It's really close to town. You can ride it in winter or summer. It has different features along the track, berms, trees, jumps. So I get my snow fix in summer really on the mountain bike track, because for me it's a similar experience.
Dean's Bank track was opened in 2011. Its construction a collaborative effort between the Department of Conservation and Bike Wanaka.
Yeah, well, the mountain bike club's probably got about 200 members, and it represents mountain biking obviously in the district. And we sort of decided that we would like to take a project on. Doc and the Upper Clutha Tracks Trust have done a great job with lots of other tracks, multi-use tracks around, so we just thought we'd like to do something a little bit more mountain bike specific, so hence the idea for this track was formed.
The track has become really popular with both locals and visitors.
Yeah, it was absolutely awesome. Yep, we ended up doing it twice, it was so good. It's something where you can bring your mates or your girlfriend or your wife who's not, or someone who's not a great rider or doesn't do a lot, and they would still achieve the trail and be happy.
I kind of just only mountain bike a little bit back at home, but after now I've done this I might do a little bit more. Like, encourage me to get into it a bit more.
If you're looking for something for the kids to do, why not sign them up for the Kiwi Ranger program? This is a program of activities that can be enjoyed by the whole family.
We have a booklet and we have to fill it out, and then when we hand it into the dock office we get a badge, so we've done it.
Wanaka's Kiwi Ranger program is based around Mount Aspiring National Park and gives visitors a chance to experience conservation in action.
And he walks through there, and he walks onto this. Boom.
Sharp, jagged. They're teethed leaves. This is called moss, and it's real short and it feels real funny.
Activities encourage both young and old to become more aware of their natural surroundings through a number of tasks that involve all the senses. These include listening to the sounds of nature, learning about native birds and their predators, and the importance of some of our natural resources.
So what's special about this water?
Is that it's from the top of mountains. Which is the glacier. That is a glacier, yeah. And it comes down through a river or something and comes to a lake.
Once the booklet is completed, the young Kiwi Rangers are awarded a badge for their efforts.
I can officially, you are now a Kiwi Ranger. And you know what, in a few years' time you can grow up and Doc would be wrapped if somebody like you came along and worked for them.
Well, thank you.
Good speech.
Speech.
For those who want to muck in and get their hands dirty, there are many ways to participate in conservation projects. One project that has captured everyone's imagination is Project GOULD. It aims to encourage the re-establishment of the native kowhai tree.
I think they're just incredibly beautiful, and there's something that is unique.
They're so graceful, and they're so beautiful that they're easy to embrace and really appreciate for their beauty, aren't they?
It's very much a New Zealand tree for me. It's when I see a kowhai, I know I'm in New Zealand. It feels like New Zealand. It's not found anywhere else. It's just a lovely reminder about what's so great about living in New Zealand.
Large parts of Otago were once covered in kowhai. Their blossoms provide food for native birds like tui and bellbirds. Now there are only a few isolated trees left. But you can become one of the many community members who are about to change that by being part of Project GOULD.
Yeah, I've been amazed about how much support we've had for Project GOULD already, and we've had schools, we've had Polytech, various nurseries have been really keen to come on board. It's the sort of project that might even appeal to sponsors.
Growing kowhai is fun and so easy. Why not try raising your own plants from locally sourced seeds?
One of the options that people will have is to grow their own kowhai, and to make that a little bit easier for them, we've developed a wee pack here, which is just a 6-cell punnet, which we can provide to people with a little packet of 6 seeds that have been eco-sourced for their area where they're going to plant them back into. And we'll have an instruction leaflet explaining how to prepare your seed. And so those 3 items will come together in a pack, and you'll be able to call into your DOC office and pick up a pack and get your own half a dozen kowhai plants underway.
So how was that experience for you?
Pretty cool, because I've always wanted to plant my own kowhai tree.
What's up with your one?
Well, I finished mine and I like it because it's been my first time planting. It's been my first ever time planting kowhai.
If you choose the right site and keep the kowhai trees safe from rabbits, they can flower as early as 7 years from planting. So get your seed pack today, plant kowhai at home, or come along to one of the many planting days in your local community. From hiking and cycling to lending nature a helping hand, there are endless options to enjoy Wanaka's natural spaces. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and get involved. The Department of Conservation and the community, working together to ensure Wanaka remains one of the greatest living spaces on Earth.